welcome back. This vlog is a continuation of our trip in Japan, and I'll be showing you our trek to Mount Fuji and then Tokyo. If you haven't checked out the previous video from Kyoto yet, please do. We left Kyoto in the morning after visiting Fushimi and Ari, and took the train to the Fuji area, where we'll be staying one night in ryokan by the lake Fuji Kawaguchiko. Coming from Kyoto, the trip itself took about 8 hours, and several transfers, but we finally arrived pretty late in the Fuji area and had to walk to our hotel in the dark. As we got to the hotel, the staff were very welcoming and had our kaiseki dinner reservation ready after we got ourselves settled in. The room itself was an old-style inn with hidden beds in the closet and a view of the lake, and an outdoor bath on the balcony. The kaiseki dinner was on my checklist of things to do in Japan, and was one of the main reasons why I chose this ryokan. Both Vivi and I were looking forward to this dinner, and the service the hotel provided, as well as the food, was immaculate. I can't highly recommend it enough. If you are already planning to stay in a nice ryokan, I'd highly recommend at least doing this at least once, as this was a big highlight of our trip. The staff were so friendly and so helpful, and everything was set up and cleared in the blink of an eye. Like, we couldn't believe it.
Right here we have the sashimi, we have red trout, this is not tuna, squid, this is tuna, and then seafood. We have the sukiyaki, which isn't ready yet, but then we will finish all those foods. This is a little soup that we have to make right beforehand. They recommended 2 to 3 sips, and then squeeze the lime here into the pot to change the flavor. This is nice. A lot of salted delicious. Vinegar dish. It's like the marinated stuff. I have no idea what these are, but they look good. What these? It's cheese. Drizzled cheese.
Pickled cheese. Okay.
Okay. Oh, your whole love is sweet. Thank you. So good.
A couple of dishes I like to highlight are the crab and fish soup, which warmed our souls, and the wild mushroom rice, which was just delicious, and there was the sukiyaki. One thing that I'm not used to, but is a staple in Japan, is eating raw eggs in one form or another. It is highly safe and also highly sought after if done right. Here, our sukiyaki was meant to be dipped in the raw egg and then eaten as is. When you get to coat that piece of meat in the broth and then mix it with the raw egg, it was so delicious. I wanted more. Finally, for dessert, we had a yuzu jelly with a mini cake in the shape of Mount Fuji, with fresh fruit and powdered sugar. Yuzu is usually my favorite flavor of a meal, but the strawberry was so fresh and it was so good with the powdered sugar, I actually enjoyed it a lot more. As we finished dinner, the staff suggested we use the hotel's public baths to relax and get ready for in-suite massages to end the night. The public baths were separated by gender and amazing. Unfortunately, no videotaping there. But the hotel had a rooftop spa, which I stopped by and had to myself to enjoy the night sky before turning in for the night for a well-deserved long rest. Until I woke up 3 hours later to catch the sunrise over Lake Kawaguchiko. Okay, so it's 5:45. It's still pretty dark outside. It's freezing cold. Hopefully it layered up. I started from my hotel's in the south. I walk around. It said it only takes about 30 minutes. So hopefully I find a spot to post up and just wait. I don't really see Fuji, to be honest. I'm a little scared here, so wish me luck. See you in a bit. It's like 6:30-ish right now. Light is starting to come through. You can see Fuji right behind. I was gonna say, I was getting really worried. I kept on walking around, still no Fuji. I might start running just so to find a spot because the light's coming up fast. I need to start riding here. See you in a bit. it to Fuji, or I made it to the view. It's gorgeous. Just gonna set up here, just taking a time lapse. The sun just came over, gave it a bit of orange kiss. You can see it's a bit of reflection in the water, so I'm looking forward to the results. Go back to shooting. After spending a lot of time shooting out by the lake, the cold started to set in and I was getting hungry. One thing I was trying to say on location, but my lips were too frozen, was that it was actually really busy. A lot of people came out after the sun rose and were taking a lot of photos, but everybody was being respectful and no one was blocking each other, which was really nice. On my way to the viewpoint, there was a family mart that I stopped by to grab a snack and hot tea, but it wasn't enough. But thankfully it was right beside the ryokan. Anyways, I made a beeline back to the hotel to warm up and grab breakfast with Vivi to do one last thing before checking out.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah, amazing.
With the dip out on our balcony done, I had also booked a private bath with a view of Mt. Fuji. These baths are by reservation time slots and only available to the guests of the ryokan, which added to the many reasons why I booked this place, and everything was so worth it. It was the perfect way to end your stay before checking out. We cleaned up and checked out of the ryokan and spent the rest of the morning exploring the Kawaguchiko area. We saw Fuji-san one last time, looked at some souvenir shops, and had a quick lunch, and then finally caught the bus to Tokyo. If we had more time, I would have liked to stay another night and spent the whole day exploring and doing activities like the Fuji ropeway, some hiking, and checking out Fuji Q-land, but we wanted to make it to Tokyo in time for Christmas, so we said our goodbyes and headed for the city. Good morning, everyone. We arrived in Tokyo Christmas Eve and took a chill because the next few days were going to be jam-packed with activities. We did a few things as we stayed in the Ginza area, like shopping, had ramen for the first time in Japan, checked out the Christmas lights, had drinks at a bar, and checked off some Japanese KFC for Christmas just to check out what the hype was as we got ready for the next few big days. Our first full day in Tokyo was jam-packed. It was Christmas Day, and we wanted to do all the things. First on the docket, and I was really excited for it, was Team Lab. This is the place you see all in line with the beautiful exhibits, usually in the Infinity Mirror and Lights room. We reserved a time slot months in advance and got in first thing in the morning. One thing that most people don't tell you about this exhibit is that the first thing you do before entering is remove your shoes and socks, as most of these exhibits involve you wading through knee-high water and also some kind of interaction. Overall, these exhibits are meant to be experienced, and I can't really do justice just talking about it. I'd highly recommend it as an activity if you go visit Tokyo, and hopefully these videos will convince you. finished at Team Lab. The morning had passed, and it was lunch. We didn't plan it out, but the famous Tsukiji market was close by, so we grabbed a sushi lunch at one of the restaurants a little outside of the main market. Like everything we had so far, it was amazing, and best of all, affordable, and the sushi was fresh. Unless you go to the market really early, I'd suggest just doing this. The place we went to had a sister restaurant right in the heart of the market area, and I noticed that the prices were higher, and there was also about a 2 to 3 hour wait time for lunch. Afterwards, we spent some time around the market, trying out different stalls. We both loved the grilled seafood, and we just picked the first one that we saw, and as well as Vivi grabbed some taiyaki as we walked around. As the day went on, the area became more packed, and we figured that was our cue to head over to Tokyo Skytree to catch the sunset to end our day. The final stop for our Christmas in Tokyo was Tokyo Skytree. This was a bucket list shot for me to capture Tokyo at sunset and the nightscape. We bought our ticket online, waited in queue, and got to the observation floor as the sun was setting. It was a long day, jam-packed and fun. We enjoyed the view of the city, stayed a little after dark, and said goodnight to Christmas in Tokyo as we winded down. Day 3, we planned an overnight stay in Minakami in the Gunma prefecture. Just 2 hours by train outside of Tokyo, this area is known for its outdoor activities and, more importantly, the hot springs. There, we booked a ryokan famous for its outdoor hot spring area, where we can relax after a busy Christmas in the city. We checked out our hotel and caught our ride at Tokyo Station heading northeast. We arrived early in the afternoon after a scenic drive through the winter landscape thanks to a complimentary ride from the ryokan, and we were greeted by helpful and friendly staff that provided us with yukatas and instructions for the onsen and dinner. The ryokan was built with the wooden aesthetic in mind, with a rich history behind the establishment. The main hall is built out of old pine, and the inn was made to highlight the onsen itself. We explored around the ryokan, taking shots with a winter background or having a relaxing bath, followed by the kaiseki dinner. Unfortunately, no filming is allowed past the bridge for privacy reasons, so if you do want to see how gorgeous this onsen is, I'd recommend seeing it in person. After passing out from a fun dinner and sleeping in one of the coziest futons, I got up early to check out the onsen one more time and got some shots of the bridge before a ride back to Tokyo. A night in the ryokan and onsen left us feeling refreshed and ready for a full day out in Tokyo. We didn't plan anything as this was a free day, so we just wanted to enjoy ourselves as our trip was coming to an end. This was the only day we didn't really plan anything because I wanted to do all my bucket list things that I always wanted to do all these years in Japan, because this is my first time visiting the country, and everything was so jam-packed. but today we kind of just did whatever. We went to all the different areas, walked around like Shinjuku, Akihabara, and we just had a lot of fun. We checked out some arcades, did shopping, and I thought the highlight would be going to the Seiko Museum because I'm a huge watch nerd, but it was actually this yakitori place that we found and had just the best time. We talked, we drank, and the food was amazing. For the price we got from that, it just actually felt wrong, and we just kept on ordering all the drinks and all the food that it was just beyond delicious. So it was a perfect way to end our last day together.
Oh, you're so pretty.
Oh my god.
Oh, oh my god. Oh, no.
Are you serious?
Oh.
We did it.
Final day in Japan is finally arrived. Phoebe had to take an earlier plane trip, leaving me solo for one day. I was a little sad with her gone and that the trip was coming to an end, but wanted to make most of my time here, so I made plans to check out Yokohama. My first stop was the Noodle Cup Museum. To get in, you have to buy a ticket online or in person for a time slot. I got there a bit late, but didn't need to wait too long until my designated time. I started off in the hallway with all the past cup noodle packages and a brief history of the founder, with the addition of a few interactive exhibits to check out. I also wanted to grab lunch here, where they had mini versions of different restaurants featuring noodle cuisines from all over the world. There was like South Korea, there was Chinese, there was like spaghetti. But I actually ended up getting Taiwanese beef noodle just because I was craving it. I haven't had that in a while, so actually pretty good. But the main reason why I came was to actually make my own cup of noodles to take home. You start off by designing your own cup. I drew the Canadian flag on mine and was encouraged to draw on the lines. Sadly, I did a terrible job. Then we bring the cup up and add ingredients. I think I chose the cup noodle special flavor and then added some chili to it with some other fillings, followed by getting my cup sealed to produce my final custom cup of noodles. At the last station, you insert the cup into an airbag that you pump up, and it provides like an extra pillow cushion for your custom cup of noodles to take home. After leaving the museum, I still had some time until nightfall to look around Yokohama. I didn't look up the area beforehand, but if I did, I would have found out how charming Yokohama is. It's a good balance of the city and some nature with a park right beside the water, which is perfect for couples or families. There's also a pretty popular theme park with a giant Ferris wheel and a gondola that spans the large area you'll see right as you leave the train station. I think if I ever came back here, I'd like to check it out and ride the gondola, but for now, I just enjoyed slowing down for a bit. Sunset, it was time to head to my final stop, the Gundam factory. I was a fan of Gundams as a kid and always thought they were cool, but I never got into model building. However, when night fell and the factory itself lit up, you can feel the sheer gravity of how amazing this engineering marvel is. Even if you're not a fan of Gundams, just seeing this achievement is worth viewing, and you get a free mini model of the Gundam as a souvenir. finally, as night was coming to an end, I left the Gundam factory and took in a bit of Yokohama at night by the harbor. I grabbed my last meal, which of course had to be ramen, at a local place out of the way, and stopped by an outdoor Christmas lights exhibit before arriving at the train station, and got one last picture of the Ferris wheel before heading home. The morning came, I caught the train to the airport, and finally had to leave this amazing country. The time I spent in Japan felt surreal. After all this time, I finally got to visit this place I've been hearing about, watching other people's video, and hearing other visitors talk about it, and now I'm finally here. And I've done it. I definitely didn't get to do everything I wanted to, and definitely there'll be so much more to do, but I'm glad I got to be here. For those that stuck around to the end, I do want to say thanks for staying. The main reason why I actually wanted to make this vlog was to show people what I did when they ask, how was your trip? But also I hope it makes you want to have these kind of ventures yourself. Anyways, it's been a journey editing this video, and I'm hoping to do more of these travel vlogs and show you more of the world and get a lot better at it. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'm looking forward to showing you a lot more.